Jack and the Beanstalk, Destiny, Chapter 1, A Climb to Nowhere. Jack had always been a man of little fortune and big dreams. When his mother scolded him for trading their last cow for a handful of beans, he felt the sting of failure. But as dawn broke, a towering beanstalk twisted into the heavens, promising a new destiny. With nothing left to lose, Jack climbed atop the beanstalk. Instead of a fairy tale castle, Jack found a sprawling city of glass and steel, cloaked in perpetual twilight. It was a world unlike his own, where shadows moved independently, and the air crackled with a strange energy. He stepped onto the streets, his heart pounding with excitement and fear. Chapter 2, The Giant City. Jack wandered through the maze-like avenues, soon realizing he wasn't alone. Towering figures in dark cloaks walked among the crowds, whispering in hushed tones. One of them, a man with sharp eyes and a jagged scar down his cheek, stopped in front of Jack. "You shouldn't be here," the man growled. Jack barely had time to respond before two more figures emerged, seizing him by the arms. They hauled him through a series of back alleys until they reached an enormous marble building. Inside, he was thrown into a dimly lit room where a single lamp flickered above a large, oaken desk. Chapter 3, The Investigator's Gambit. Across the desk sat a woman with piercing blue eyes, her hands steepled as she studied Jack. "Jack, son of Eleanor and Richard of the Valley," she said, as if reading from an unseen ledger. "You've stepped into a world governed by different rules." Jack was too shocked to speak. "You climbed the beanstalk and arrived in New Olympus, the city of the forgotten fates. Your arrival was predicted, yet it was not meant to be. What are you talking about?" Jack finally stammered. The woman leaned forward. "You are a mistake, Jack. A ripple in the fabric of destiny. And mistakes must be corrected." Chapter 4, The Chase. Jack had no time to react before alarms blared and the walls around him shifted. The room distorted, revealing a vast labyrinth beyond. He bolted, dodging figures emerging from the shadows, their hands grasping for him. He turned a corner and nearly collided with the scar-faced man from earlier. "This way," the man hissed. With no other choice, Jack followed, weaving through the maze of corridors until they burst into the neon-lit streets. "Who are you?" Jack panted. "A friend," the man replied. "The fates want to erase you. But I know the truth. And if you want to survive, you need to run." Chapter 5, A Giant's Debt. Jack followed his mysterious savior through underground tunnels until they reached a hidden chamber. Inside stood an enormous, ironclad figure, a giant. "I knew your father," the giant rumbled. "He was one of us, a seeker of fate. He found a way to rewrite destiny. And for that, he was erased." Jack's blood ran cold. "What do you mean, erased?" The giant handed him a small, golden key. "Your father left this behind. It unlocks the Book of Paths. If you want answers, you must find it before they do." Chapter 6, The Final Truth. Jack followed the clues, dodging shadowy figures, solving riddles hidden within the city, and unlocking the doors to forgotten archives. When he finally reached the Book of Paths, he hesitated before opening it. The pages glowed with golden light, shifting and rearranging as he read. His father's name was there, and below it, his own. A final line sent chills down his spine. "Jack is the giant." The realization crashed over him like a tidal wave. He wasn't the hero of the story. He was the villain. The one fated to fall, and the fates had come to correct their mistake. As the doors burst open and cloaked figures rushed in, Jack made his choice. He grasped the key, knowing it was his only way out. With a whispered word, the world around him shattered, and Jack fell into a destiny rewritten by his own hand.